Say that you're a woman that has a home-based business and you're inviting clients into your home, and some of these clients could be men. And you're catching my drift, I think. So, here are the tips that I use because I have a home based business and I invite men into my home. First of all, never invite anyone into your home after dark, daytime only. Second, don't go to men's homes. There's no need to go to their homes. It's not safe. You don't know if there's anyone hiding there, if they're gonna what they're gonna do. It's their turf. Make sure that you only invite them into your home or your space or your office. So again, daytime only, your office, your home. Number three, you want to have a way to screen potential clients for compliance. And this is where the gentleman who left a comment on my last video went wrong. He said that I was rude to him in an email. I'm only rude if guys are being controlling or not showing that they're compliant, not emotionally attuned. I look for men who are confident and emotionally attuned. And men who are emotionally attuned care what I want. They want to make me feel safe and they have proper manners. So, what I look for is the way that they talk to me when they contact me. Hey, beautiful is disrespectful. They are being very cavalier. I look for people with good social skills. So, for example, they would contact me, say your name is Clara and you're a bookkeeper. He shouldn't be saying, hey, beautiful. He shouldn't be saying, send me your address. He shouldn't be saying, what are your prices? He should know all that because that would be in your advertisement where he found you. He should be making you comfortable and he should be introducing himself to you. For example, hi Clara, I see that you're a bookkeeper. I have some, things I need some help with. Are you free, to see me on Tuesday at 2 o'clock? At the very least, you should say my name is, John Smith, and I'm looking for a bookkeeper. At the very least. Anyone not saying that is a red flag. Get him out of here. He hasn't learned his way around women. Anyone who is not introducing himself is either a young guy who doesn't understand women, or a control freak, or someone who isn't serious, or someone who doesn't have trust. He doesn't understand women. The only men that I want to work with are men that really want to see me and that understand that I want to feel safe. So that's why I look for compliance. Compliance meaning you give a shit how I feel. And so in my bookkeeper ad, I tell you what I need to see you. These are the things that I want to know. I want to know your name. I would like to know your occupation, how old you are, and the best times for you to have your appointment, how long of an appointment you think you will want, and then I also require a deposit. Now, what I'm looking for here, I'm making the man very vulnerable. He has to be vulnerable because a lot of men don't want to tell some person that they're just emailing all this information, especially their occupation, because men are very judged for their occupation. So by asking for occupation, I'm getting into making them a little bit vulnerable. Are you going to give me this information? Are you going to be like, I don't tell people, I don't send deposits? The deposit ensures that you actually are going to keep the appointment, and it weeds out people who are mistrusting or who are not really sure and who don't want to be accountable. So I'm looking for compliance. someone caring how I feel, a man who wants to be accountable, and a man who really wants the appointment. So I'm screening for a lot of things in that. Sometimes people will say, well, I don't want to make a deposit from my bookkeeper because this and this and this. And it's like, well, you can get a Visa gift card. You can send me an Amazon gift card. There are lots of ways that you can make an appointment with your bookkeeper that maybe your other bookkeeper doesn't know about, let's say. I'm and so by only seeing people in the daytime, not at night, I'm very safe. They have to walk through my entire, they have to, the parking is not in my driveway. There is a little bit of a walk involved. So I feel very safe because they're going to be seen walking through my neighborhood. And they don't know about what cameras are set up in my neighborhood, what neighborhood watch I have, what cameras I may have in my home, or anything like that. What I have for self protection, if I have a gun, if I have um, pepper spray, they don't know any of that, so they're on my turf. So they're being very vulnerable. And so it requires them really wanting the appointment and it requires trust. Furthermore, men looking for a bookkeeper, the last thing they want is to run into another man who was here with the bookkeeper. They do not want to show up unannounced because there could be another client here, there could be a boyfriend here, there could be a husband here, there could be other people here. In my 7 years as a bookkeeper, having doing bookkeeping in my home with clients coming into my home, I've never ever had someone show up unannounced. Why would they do that? They don't want to run into another guy, believe me. The men looking for bookkeepers have to be able to afford a bookkeeper. They have jobs. So they have something they care about. They're not bums off the street. There's a reason they need a bookkeeper. They can afford a bookkeeper. It's a myth that men looking for bookkeepers are white collar criminals. I mean, they have work, they have a car, they have a family, they have a life they care about, and they often don't have a lot of free time. Now, the way to weed out a lot of riffraff is when you have higher prices. So you have higher prices, you get people that, if a bookkeeper charges $25 for an hour, she's going to attract a different clientele than if she charges $200 an hour or $500 an hour, let's say. So the more you charge, the better the clientele. In order to be charged more, you have to be able to offer have a really inviting ad and provide a good level of service because people leave reviews for their bookkeepers and other people can read those reviews. So you want to make sure that you offer a good level of service. For bookkeepers who don't want to take deposits, there are other ways of screening potential clients. One way that I used to use the first 5 years in business was a voicemail. I don't pick up my phone, so on my bookkeeper phone line, they would have to leave a voicemail, and I'm going to return that call. And if they don't have a voicemail set up, I'm not very impressed. I feel like it's just proper business etiquette for people that have a phone to have a voicemail set up in case someone calls them. I know a lot of people are texting these days, but it could be your mortgage company calling, your car insurance company calling, your dentist could be calling. And what kind of greeting are they going to get? Have you even considered that? If someone doesn't have a voicemail set up, I don't want to deal with them. It shows that they're inconsiderate, and I don't want to see inconsiderate people because I'm alone with this person. I also so if they leave a voicemail, I can tell a lot from someone's voice. If their voice scares me, if they're mumbling, or if their voice sounds controlling, I don't want to deal with them. If they're calling me in the middle of the night for a bookkeeper appointment, I don't want to deal with them. They're probably drunk and they're inconsiderate. I want to deal with people who get up in the morning and go to work and then call their bookkeeper while they're at work. So people calling at night is kind of a red flag. Like, why are you calling a bookkeeper in the middle of the night? You should be sleeping if you have your life together. You should be sleeping after 10 o'clock and not calling women after that late at night. That's really inappropriate. Um, let's see. I guess that's about it. There are other ways of booking appointments. You can use a booking form also, and that way they have to make a payment to get the appointment. You can ask them for the name of a previous bookkeeper or their work information, but generally, I want to make it easy for people to see me because the more questions I ask that are really unimportant, it just scares people off. They're like, why do you need to know all that? I just want to see a bookkeeper. For me, the deposit is really good because the most valuable thing to someone is their money, and they're not going to pay a deposit if they are not going to keep the appointment. Now, can a man come into a woman's home and hurt her? I guess, but planes can also crash out of the sky. Lightning can strike us. It's very, very rare. I think that the media scares people needlessly. When we hear about men who hurt women, it is almost every time someone she knows, a domestic violence situation. The number of women who are just abducted by a stranger is so rare, and I don't even know how that would happen. Um, like if a guy was trying to hurt somebody, I think he would find an easier target than someone who's going to do all this screening and ask for a deposit. I think he would just find someone off the street, some woman running through the park or walking alone at night, probably, or maybe, women in certain industries who are streetwalkers or homeless. I think they set themselves up for those situations. These are just my tips. Again, I look for men who are respectful, polite. They should be not asking me any type of like personal or sexual questions. The only thing I want to know from a potential bookkeeping client is the information I asked of him. If he starts asking me questions, he's not a good client. Not everyone is a good client. You have to be able to turn people down. Um, it's also very important to be kind. So I have a lot of different like pre-written texts set up so I can reply to things. Someone may say, I don't pay deposits. And then, it's good to let people know in the ad things and anticipate the things that might make a client nervous, like, um, why do you need a deposit? And then explain the deposit policy in your ad so that they know that you're a professional person who isn't just going to take their money. A lot of people don't want to read the reviews, but they might read through the ad. And then also, if you have a few photos of yourself that kind of showcase yourself as like a caring professional person, photos with good lighting. I've seen women on dating sites have like really bad photos that are not good quality. Like right now, the lighting is really good here. I didn't do it this way. I just finished Pilates because I have my purple carrot box there. I didn't want to show that. But to have a clean, uncluttered background and good lighting, because a high quality, classy man is going to look for a high quality, classy woman. And what they look for, like in your pictures, is the lighting good? Is it clean? Like this wouldn't be good. I would have to blur this out. Is it is this woman kind? It's so important to have like a kind first response, but after that I don't want to deal with any riffraff. And there will be a lot of riffraff coming. There will be people who want to know your prices or just try to get free information from you or get free time without paying for anything. And I don't offer my time without payment. Like, I know some attorneys will talk to you to kind of see if they can take your case. I don't talk to people to see if I can take their case because it's just like an hourly consulting appointment, let's say. So they have to pay me to get my time, because there will be people that will mooch off you or leech your time, and people forget that it's a business. They think, oh, there's this pretty woman. She looks really sweet and motherly and kind, so I'm going to try to get some attention from her. This is a business. If a man wants free attention, he needs to pull free attention by meeting women in real life and getting women who want to talk to him, but they're coming to you as a bookkeeper, and a bookkeeper is a business. A good client understands this. These are the good clients. This is what they'll do. This is how it looks. Hey, my name is Bob Smith. I'm a contractor. I'm 55 years old. I need some advice on my I'm looking for a new bookkeeper. I wonder if you have some time to meet with me Tuesday at 3 o'clock for 1 hour. I'm prepared to pay a deposit. That is that is 99% of the time is how a good client will show up. It's very rare for any of these other guys who are like, hey, can I make a bookkeeping appointment? Hey, it's really rare for those guys to turn into an appointment. Very rare. Because these guys are lacking social skills, respect, professionalism, they're lacking trust, they're lacking the things that I need, that I want to even deal with this person. I don't deal with people who are helpless. They're like, oh my God, I can't find your address, and where's this and where's that, and I don't speak English. I'm like, you're looking for a nurse, a caretaker, or a mommy. Like, this is not, if you can't be an adult male or a man, I don't want to deal with you. And I get really bitchy with guys. And you know what? Some of these guys still call me again because they realize they were messed up. And they're like, I really want to see you. I messed up. But every once in a while, you get these really weirdos who are like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, poor me. Please, please, please. And I just get so repulsed. A lot of guys need to learn. We do not have to be nice to everyone. So sometimes I oscillate between, okay, um, you have no social skills, you have no manners, and I don't want to deal with your bullshit. So fuck off. I'll just be like, get lost, loser. But I'm trying to be nicer, and I'm trying to be nicer now. But I don't deal with a lot of back and forth stuff. Like, if you can't be a man and introduce yourself and tell me who you are and when you want your bookkeeping appointment, I don't want to deal with you. Because remember, I have put up my ad. I have given you my bookkeeping experience. I have told you everything I need. I have so many reviews about my bookkeeping that you can check out. I even have a Just for Fans page where people can chat with me and get to know me. And it's $35 a month, though. It's not cheap like some of the other ones. And now you're this anonymous person texting me from some number going, hey, are you available? And I'm supposed to talk to you? Fuck you. And the kind of man I want to see knows this. So if they don't know this, they're either controlling, they're either total losers, they lack social skills, they don't have the money, there's something wrong. So don't deal with those guys. Expect a man coming to a woman to introduce himself. That's what I look for. Manners, respect, and once if I get a text like that or an email like that and they introduce themselves, I'm really nice. Yeah, let's have the appointment. I'm a really good bookkeeper. I'm very detail oriented, and they want to come back. I have gentlemen that call me that saw me 6 years ago. I lost your number, I found your ad again. I really want to see you because I'm a really good bookkeeper. And a woman inviting a man into her home for bookkeeping or for um, any other kind of consulting business, whether it's party planning, event planning, computer consulting, she's going to want to know who it is so she feels safe. And shouldn't deal with any other kind of person. Don't deal with any other kind of person that doesn't want to introduce themselves at all. That's the thing. And there are a lot of people that don't have good social skills. I think that a man can feel nervous going to a bookkeeper's home that he doesn't know. So it's up to him to do the research. And a bookkeeper that has reviews and has been in business doesn't have to prove herself to him. I've already proven myself. Now you should introduce yourself. A lot of guys have no social skills. They think that they can just anonymously approach a woman for appointments, consulting appointments in her home without even introducing themselves. They don't even think. They lack empathy, they lack understanding. I don't want to deal with guys like that. They think they're just entitled to reach out and get a nice reply. Hey, are you available for bookkeeping? Like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here. And a proper man knows this. But there are a lot of uneducated guys, and I used to try to teach them. I used to be super nice. Guys would send me dick pics, or, I was super nice in the beginning. I would send them samples of my work, and I would, be really nice. I was so open hearted and kind, and none of those guys ever made an appointment. And I'm like, I'm leeching energy here. And I've just played around with different ways of screening them. My problem isn't that they're unsafe. My problem is I don't want to get triggered all the time by guys who have no social skills, who are pulling from my energy without introducing themselves. But none of these guys ever talk to me in public. In public, they don't even look at me, or maybe they would say hi. They're not like anonymous. I mean, I think that men need to realize this. When you're just texting a woman without your face showing or your name showing, it's like coming up to a woman with covered in a hefty bag. It doesn't feel safe. Like, why should I be vulnerable with you when you're hiding yourself? You're hiding yourself and you're asking me when I can see you? Fuck you. I had I had a potential new bookkeeping client today who was very, very professional. He's like, how young does it, do I need, how old, what's the youngest client that you'll see? And I just, you have to be an adult to hire a bookkeeper. So I said 18, but he had emailed me from his real email, like let's say it said Harry Smith Jr. He goes, I'm a, 21-year-old guy. I work for this specific company, trucking company, and I would like to see you. What are your rates? And I said, well, they're in my ad, and he hadn't read the ad and he couldn't afford it. So I said, I know there are other bookkeepers. There's another bookkeeper I saw. She charges a lot less. Maybe you can see her. Oh, yeah, okay, well, where can I find her? I said, you need to find her on this website. I saw her there. If you want to chat with me any further, you can subscribe to my Just for Fans. We can chat there. But I was willing to interact with him. Why? I gave him a lot of interaction. Why? Because in the very first email to me, he introduced himself and he sent it from his real email that had his name in it. And he gave me his name. He introduced himself. Now he gets my attention, but you wouldn't believe how many people reach out to me without the manners and class of this 21-year-old truck driver. They're like, hey, are you available? And then they get all pissed off that I don't want to talk to them. Like there was a guy that left a comment on my video yesterday, and he was very vulnerable, which I appreciate, sharing about his relationships, but somehow if I was rude to him in his email, it's because he didn't introduce himself. He was asking for information without paying, and he expected me to be nice, which I'm not going to be to someone anonymous. He also said that he's good at pleasing women, but women can't please him. And I'm going to say those women were faking it. He saw some escorts. I'm going to say they were faking it. There's no escort that's having real orgasms with some guy. I mean, it's pretty rare. Maybe if he was really good at oral, she did. But a lot of them are faking it. And the reason he has trouble coming with the women is because he's so used to masturbating. There's no amount of, there's nothing a woman, if the only orgasms you've had for years on end is from your own hand, especially if you don't use lube and you use a firm stroke and you are desensitized because you're watching porn, but even if you're not, it's very hard for anyone else to make you come. And there is no mouth or vagina as tight as your hand, especially if you're dry rubbing it, because a mouth and a vagina is lubricated. So a lot of those guys need to unlearn that by using a looser grip and some lube. Furthermore, a lot of men, as they get older, their penis become desensitized. They lose sensitivity. It's the first part of getting erectile dysfunction, I think. You lose sensitivity in your penis because you're not getting good blood flow, so your nerve ends are dying. You're less sensitive, so you have trouble climaxing, especially in a condom. And then they'll be like, oh, I just can't come in a condom. I have trouble with condoms. Well, a lot of guys don't have trouble with condoms because they're actually sensitive still. Guys in their 50s. So, you know, if a guy can't feel anything, that's on him, because I feel something with every man that I'm with. My bookkeeping clients, I feel something with everyone because I'm the feeling person. I'm the source of the feeling. But if you can't feel anything when you're with a woman, it's because you're not feeling things. You're not allowing yourself, you've protected yourself, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm just giving you that as a pointer that maybe you've just protected yourself because women have been disappointing or they've hurt you, and it's easier to give than to receive. Receiving is hard, but it all comes from in here and feeling safe in here. But I have to be honest, it doesn't feel safe to have strangers contact me, even the guys on LinkedIn that send me a message, if they don't have a photo of themselves, it doesn't feel safe. We didn't evolve. We're social creatures. We didn't evolve to be vulnerable to people with bags over their heads. And that's what it's like. And I'm not going to be vulnerable to a guy who's hiding behind some number who doesn't want to give his name or show his face. That doesn't feel safe, and it isn't safe. It's not supposed to feel safe. So those are just some of my tips. I want to know what you think. Leave your questions in the comments, and thank you for watching my video.